And gentlemen, welcome to the National Timely Action Hour podcast. This is the show where we talk about everything from comic books to Star Wars and everything in between. My name is Aiden, and I hope that you're doing well today. Today we are on Season 3, Episode 2, the Top 10 Flash Villains. Now, in honor of the Flash movie coming out, I thought I would talk about some of his best villains. And I think that the Flash's villains are very interesting because a lot of them have this quote unquote code of honor that they live by, whereas there are the others that are just straight up evil. So I just wanted to help you, if you are not familiar with the Flash, understand how his rogues gallery operates. And funny enough, they call themselves the Rogues, which is pretty silly and unoriginal, to be quite frank, but that's what they call themselves. So, my number one all time favorite Flash villain has to be Gorilla Grodd. Now, that might come out of left field for some of you, but Gorilla Grodd is one of the best DC villains, in my opinion, because not only is he a physical powerhouse because of his, ape DNA, but he is also from a specific race of highly intelligent apes. So he's a genius, and he's very strong, and he's very cunning and savage, and I just think that he's a great villain. Then at number 2, we have the Reverse Flash. Now, the Reverse Flash is evil for evil's sake. He is petty beyond belief. You've probably seen that meme where he's like, "It was me, Barry." It was like any inconvenience within the Flash's life is because the Reverse Flash was screwing with him, either using his super speed or time travel. Because the Reverse Flash is from the 25th century, and he traveled back in time and now screws with the Flash. Then at number 3, we have the Trickster, because, come on, he's the Trickster, especially in the TV show, and he's played by Mark Hamill. And I just think he's a fun villain. Then at number 4, we have Captain Cold. Now, Captain Cold is arguably Flash's arch nemesis because I think he's shown up the most out of all of the other villains. And yeah, his cold gun can slow down the Flash, so that's cool. And he lives by a code of honor where he doesn't hurt any innocent people. He's just in it for the money. He just likes to steal money and precious jewels and art to sell. And yeah, he's just an interesting character because his sister is also a Flash villain. So he's got a soft spot for her, and everyone else he's cold to, if you know what I mean. But yeah, Captain Cold is pretty cool. Didn't. Then at number 5, we have Mirror Master. Now, Mirror Master is very interesting because he has a gun that can open portals to the mirror dimension. And so he's trapped the Flash in there a few times, but the Flash obviously manages to escape using his super speed. But, that's a cool idea, to have a weapon that can transport your enemies to a separate dimension and trap them there, unless they can outsmart you. But I just think that that's pretty dope, and by extension, Mirror Master's a pretty interesting villain. Then at number 6, we have Captain Boomerang, who's the stock Australian stereotype, where he's gonna have an Australian accent and he uses a boomerang. And again, he just steals money. And yeah. Then we have the Shade, a classic Flash villain. Now, the Shade, his cane can produce shadows. And he's a very dapper gentleman dressed in a dandy suit, wearing a top hat. And as I said, he carries a cane, but that's I forget if it's Magic. I think it's Magic. And he's over 100 years old, so that's interesting. But the Shade was a villain from the golden age of comics, from the 1940s and early 50s. So Jay Garrick was the Flash when he came onto the scene. Uh, Everyone else on this list is from Barry Allen and Wally West eras, but uh, the Shade, he's pretty cool, and I think that he's a great villain. Although in more recent years they've tried to make him more sympathetic. Then at number 9 we have the Weather Wizard. Now the Weather Wizard has a stick or a wand, I think it is, that he uses to manipulate the weather. And again, he just uses that to get rich, but that's a pretty overpowered power, but it's cool. Then at number 10 we have we have the Thinker. At number 10 we have the Thinker. Now, the Thinker is someone who uses his vast intellect to commit crimes, and he just thinks, and he's also from the Golden Age, but yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. I just think he's got a cool power. He's very smart, and he commits crimes, but that's most supervillains. And yeah, so those are my top 10 favorite Flash villains. Now, bear in mind, this is just my opinion. You are free to disagree with me, and feel free to do so. But let me know who your favorite Flash villains are, and do you think any of them are going to appear in the Flash movie? At the time of recording, it's not yet out, but we'll see. So thank you so much for listening to the National Timely Action Hour podcast. Once again, my name is Aidan, and I sincerely hope that you are doing well and that you have a wonderful day. Thank you, and goodbye.